What up, everybody? Goddamn, there have been a lot of movies just in 2023 alone. Happy New Year, everybody. Um, yeah, just to get the video started. Dream Scenario with Nick Cage, made by A24. Who else to do it? Um, I wasn't sure if I was gonna go to the theaters and see this or not. The reason I say that is because the five movies I saw in the theaters in November, I ended up not liking like three or four of them, if I can remember. Thanksgiving was definitely one of them. The three other ones I can't really remember, but I just was having a rough patch, and then Dream Scenario came out like in between, and I was like, "Am I gonna like this? Am I just gonna waste my money and sit here for another 2 hours and worry about going to the washroom and missing a scene?" I love the movies, don't get me wrong, but that is the one benefit of watching movies at home. You can fucking pause it, go do your shit, go to the washroom, have a smoke, and then come back and relax. Obviously, at the movies, there is no pause button. But yeah, I kind of skipped down on this one. I saw the trailer the first time. I was like, this looks really cool. And then as more and more I went to the movies, they kept playing the fucking trailer over and over. And I was like, I feel like I've seen the whole movie by this point. So I'm going to wait for it to come on streaming. So I watched it last night and I was blown away. Not even just how much they liked it, because I usually say that. I'm blown away of how well that trailer was made. Because when I watched that trailer, I did feel like they were showing too much. And then when I watched the movie, there's so many important moments. Like the second half of this movie, there's so many things that aren't in the trailer that are very, very important to the story. So thank you, A24, for making a good trailer. I'm not saying it wasn't good the first time I saw it before the movie, but I just thought it was giving a bit too much away. And then once I watched the movie, I was completely wrong, 100% completely wrong. So moving on to the movie, what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. This is probably one of it's up there with Iron Claw. I like Iron Claw a little bit more just because it's a true story and it was more, it was a true event. It was way more realistic. But Dream Scenario is definitely up there in my top three. Um, Men used to be in my top three. That got bumped down after a second rewatch. So I was actually, yeah, I'm gonna say Lighthouse, Iron Claw, Dream Scenario. So far, A24 has been doing great. What I loved about this movie so much was Nicolas Cage, his performance completely loses himself. I saw him in Pig, fucking great movie. I haven't seen National Treasure in a long time. I gotta go back and watch those. So lately, the shit that he's been putting out lately, I'm just not digging. I know he is a good actor, but I feel like if he gets a bad script and he gets a bad movie, he's still gonna be in it. Like look at The Wicker Man. There's so many bad movies he's in, but when he's given a good role and a good script, good characters to bounce off of, he he's great. I wouldn't say he's terrific, but he is really really good. Um, his acting here, it's one of those movies you watch it and you're like, there's not another person I can think of that could do this role like he did. Great stuff, really great stuff. Um, as far as like wackiness and overall messages, A24 usually drops the bomb and like the third act of their movie. Usually the first two acts are really good, and then the ending is either super complicated or it's over explained or the audience doesn't need it to be explained and it's explained anyway and they beat us over the head with it. I always liked Men. I thought the first two acts are awesome, and then you get to the third act and it just becomes a bit of a mess. And the A24 sometimes they just do shit and they think they're a little bit more smarter than they are, tricking the audience. I don't mind that, but when it's every movie by the same studio, you tend to, not watch their other projects. But for this movie, it's completely different. As wacky as it sounds, a man being in people's dreams, the movie feels super realistic. It kind of feels like it could happen. Just the way that the movie is shot, it has like this early 2000s feel to it. I really like. And you get to the point in the movie when I got to like the third act, I'm like, okay, I'm fucking loving this. Just don't get like too complicated, but don't go too stupid. Just go like right in the middle. Have a good enough ending to make the audience think like, what the fuck did I just watch, and make them think about it, but don't make it too confusing for them. And that's exactly what this movie does. Great third act. I found it very emotional. I thought it was really well done. All in all, this movie is just, the runtime is only an hour and 40. It doesn't even feel like it because you're so into it, and it flies by. The pacing is great. All the supporting cast is awesome. I also really like to me, this movie, the message about it is the good and bad of being famous, the pros and cons, and it really shows that because Nick Cage at the beginning, he kind of likes it. He kind of likes all the popularity, and then it gets to the point where he can't even go out for dinner. People just won't stop talking to him, or people can't stop kicking him out of places because there's other people there that are uncomfortable. So like the first half is like more of like the good side of the publicity, and then you get to the second half and it gets a lot darker. And it's not just that; it explores like PTSD, a lot of other messages that get explained, but you can watch another video for that without ever ramming it in your face. They may bring up TikTok and like social media like once or twice, but it doesn't really feel forced at all. All the dream sequences were awesome. That was my only complaint. I wish we got a bit more time in them. I thought we got enough of them spread throughout the movie to keep the audience invested. And then on top of that, you have like the actual, real life shit that's going on. I thought we got the perfect amount of those, but I just wanted them to be a little bit longer because they're so fucking good. When we were in that like dream, it was so cool how they did it. And Nicolas Cage in some of these dreams, he starts off nice and he's just a guy standing around, and then he just turns into a fucking killer basically. And it was really cool to see. A lot of people on YouTube were like, how did this happen? How did he in his dream go from, just this guy standing around all of a sudden murdering people? We don't know. We don't know. And that's the fun part of the movie because, like I said, once you get to the end, it doesn't beat you over the head with, hey, this is why he turned evil. There's no explaining. They kind of just leave it up to the audience. But the core message of the movie is still there, if you know what I mean. So they give us a bit to think about, but like not to an overwhelming extent like Men. Like I've seen that movie 3 times, still couldn't tell you what the fuck that ending was about. But this is a lot more. It's still being complex, but it's a lot more focused on telling an actual story rather than building up to the third act and leaving us going, what the fuck? Everything comes together in a nice little package. So that was the only complaint. I wanted to be in the dream scenarios a little bit longer. But other than that, to me, this is it's a perfect movie without having shit explained to me, having, putting the pieces together. I think it actually will be a lot of fun on a second watch. I think I might pick up on little clues and hints that I haven't missed or didn't witness the first time. And all around great production too. Like A24 with this movie is really good. They are coming out with a new movie with the girl that played Mary Jane, Kirsten Dunst. I don't remember what the movie is called, but it's another A24 movie basically about U.S. And I don't know if they're going to war with Russia in the movie, but they're going to war with somebody. And I saw the trailer for it, and I want to support it because it looks entertaining to watch. But like, man, I watch fucking movies that I wouldn't say escape reality, but somewhat, yeah. I don't want to be reminded of the fucking, even though I'm not dealing with him from Canada, I don't want to watch a war movie about, people getting blown up, about shit that's happening right now. I'm not really interested in that. But hey, whatever. If they make money, they're gonna keep fucking making those kind of movies. All in all, Dream Scenario is I would give it a 9 out of 10. I just wish we could have stayed in those dream scenarios a little bit longer and like just a little more evil Nick Cage because that shit was fucking. When we get it, it's great. You get that in Mandy, you get it in Prisoners of the Ghostland, but like those two movies weren't that good. Nicolas Cage did his best, but the shit that he was given was not good. So I finally got to like this point in this movie. I'm like, yes, yes, a great movie with a great evil Nicolas Cage. So I just wanted a bit more of that. But other than that, man, this movie's fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Sorry for the long review. I'm gonna stop the video now. Happy New Year, everybody, and let me know what you think of the movie. Peace.